Hello, good evening. Welcome. It's time for Mind Your Character with Bosede Olusola-Obasa. How's your week been? I hope you've had a very splendid week so far. It's Friday, and I do this every Friday, 4:30 is the time. I share just one more value with you, something you can take to the weekend that can help you plan for the new week, something you can meditate on, useful for taking your business from where it is to where it's supposed to be. But I don't talk business alone on Fridays. I talk everything value, everything personal development, everything personal effectiveness, everything public enlightenment. So that's what I do on Fridays, and I'd like to welcome you. I'm going to go straight up into what I've got, but that will be after I have properly checked up with you. So how are you doing today? How's everything going? I know that things are probably not at their best, but it's character to keep hopes alive. It's character to remain sane in the midst of the storm. It's not natural, yes. So I understand if you are angry, if you are touchy, that will look like so many people's first way of responding to issues, to stress, to strain, to disappointment, to dissatisfaction. But you see, going off from there will now be what your choice can be. So there is what your first natural response is to an issue, and then there is what you make out of it, who you choose to be in the midst of it, how you choose to go through it. And that's so important. When it comes to this show, what we do is help you master your personhood, help you achieve self-mastery, help you become more conscious of self-awareness, help you become more responsible for self, like knowing that when you complain about anything, there probably is something about you that can either improve that thing, make it better, or correct it. So on Mind Your Character, we put a lens on individuals, myself, yourself, ourselves. We don't point accusing fingers, and that's why you seldom see that I come to this show and I talk about a third party. I'm always talking about how can you and I become better? What can we do better than we're doing it already? What can we learn? And how can we become better? So that's it. If you're ready like I am, it's time for us to go dive into what we got for today. I'm loving my all orange. Yeah. So now let's shoot. So a few minutes before now, I posted on my Facebook page my worry about why customers, or generally service attitude index for Nigeria, why is it still very low? Why is it always very low? Why does it seem like it's ceaselessly low? And what can we do? What can we do to it or about it? Why is it so low? What can we do about it? Today I want to share some statistics with you, and my intention is to kick you started on being intentional about what your team is doing when it comes to service attitude. Service attitude is much more than customer service, but customer service is at the receiving end of service attitudes. So that's why a lot of the times when someone talks about service attitude, they are looking at who is the end user of that culture, of that pattern, of that attitude. Yes, there are situations where the team members are at the receiving end. There are situations where the employers are at the receiving end, and there are situations where the customer are at the receiving end. So, but most often than not, you see that service attitude conversation will usually crystallize and come to the juncture where you talk about how it impacts the customer. If you followed for some week, you know that I have done the number of series of what great salespeople know about customer service, and it helps them to sell better. And we still have that training. It's a new training on our table, and you can request for it right now on our website www.rcvlimited. If you go there, if you visit that website, you will be able to sign up for that course, because you will see there. So it's not just one course hosted and gone. No, it's a new product, and we're doing it in response to the needs in the market. So we see that a lot of people talk about sales and they have done well, they are doing correctly, but we're just adding the fact that the person that you are is at the center of selling. The person that you are is at the center of selling. So put all of the skills and all the nuggets and technical know-how together. It will be restricted, it will be confined to the person that you are ultimately, because customer service has no template really. You can learn as much as you can. So you say learn all you can all you learn. By the end of the day, you meet different kind of people. So whatever template you had that worked for Mr. A might fall short slightly when you are handling Mr. B, when you're working with Mr. B. And that makes this so important. So let's see this some of these statistics, so that when you get back on Monday to the office, you can carry your team along, you can bring them together. If you like, you can replay this video to them, or call us to ask us to come do an upskilling of the energy in the room when it comes to service attitudes. We do this really well at RCV, First Royal Character and Values Limited. So today I'll be talking about what Nigerian businesses lose for failing to understand service attitude. What Nigerian businesses lose for failing to understand the importance of service attitude. Now, someone can jump out and say, who says they don't understand? But you see, you only show that you understand something when you begin to become or do that thing. The knowing doing gap will always emphasize the fact that people may know what to do, but as long as they will not do what they know, it will come back to the same thing as though they never knew. So you are not better than the person who doesn't know if you do not do what you know to do. The result will be the same. Stagnancy, remain at the same point, and results not changing. Service attitudes, to start with, is one of the most important factors in retaining customers in Nigerian businesses, but not because I'm benchmarking on Nigeria, so but globally it very much is. In a market here where customers often have several alternatives, just like most other places, how people are treated can determine whether they return or take their businesses or their monies elsewhere. Follow me closely. Nigerian consumers often encounter long queues. You know, some weeks ago I talked about it and how sometimes we make these things a whip. Delayed responses, inconsistent customer service. Businesses that are consistently providing warmth, efficiency, respectful service can distinguish themselves easily in Nigeria. That's why you hear people talk about the fact that someone acts in a particular way as a service provider or product provider, and the receiver of the service or the product is taken aback, wondering, is this a Nigerian business? Because they know that there's a narrative which must change, if you ask me, that customer service is not taken for how seriously it should be taken here in Nigeria. And my question is why? So whether in retail banking, whether in hospitality, whether in telecommunications or e-commerce, customers remember how they were treated long after they have forgotten that they paid the price. That's so important. Now let's take a quote by Peter Drucker, You know Peter Drucker, the management expert who has done phenomenally well also in terms of helping our understanding around service culture and personhood. It says that the purpose of a business is to create and keep customer. The purpose of a business is to create and keep customers. The purpose of a business is to create and keep customers. There's a lot of gap sometimes between what the owner of the business believes customer service should be like and what the team members believe it should be like. Sometimes there's some congruency when those two categories of personality, so to speak, begin. At some point there begins to be a separation, so someone is losing the steam. That's where it becomes important to always talk about your service needs, your service expectations, and what attitude should guide service in your organization. You should never assume it. So a lot of assumption goes into it. We just believe that, oh, they've been taught, oh, there was a training that I held last year, they learned it. Meanwhile, you know that some of the people who took the last training have left. Because again, there is the part of a high turnover of team membership. So keeping customers depend not only on the quality of your product. Some people are so proud of their products, they've forgotten that they need to keep the customer to continue to sell it. So keeping customers is very important, and it does not only depend on the quality of your product or the quality of your service, but also on the attitude of the people delivering it. So we're back to people, and you know, everything that I do as Bosede Olusola-Obasa or RCV has to do with people, improving the patterns, the ways people live, the ways people do things, the ways people sign up for things. That's who I am. And if you've ever caught me making this confession, this is another time that you have to come up and close with it. It's the fact that being on this side of training customers, character development generally, which has attitudes, values, and the rest of them, is also an ample opportunity for me to continue to grow. So whatever I come out here to encourage you to do better at, you are certain that it's also what I'm holding myself accountable to. And that makes it beautiful. So what I do literally is create a community of people who have the same interest to become better at the way they do things or at what they do. So let's now look at some statistics that can help business-minded people sit up. We're looking at what you lose when you don't take service attitudes as important as you should in any business that you do, any organization. Let's see some research, raw data from some credible organizations, research-based organizations, and very importantly, they are pinpointing on the Nigerian market. First of all, let's see independent research involving more than 16,000 Nigerian consumers. I know you say, oh, that's so small in the midst of how many we are, but let's follow closely. Independent research involving more than 16,000 Nigerian consumers found that our country's overall customer service still earns only a 67% satisfaction score. Somebody will be like, but that's not poor. Isn't that a B? Isn't that almost an A? That's not the point. The point is that in the metrics that grades customer service for this organization, grade D, where 67, you know, it went from 2023, went from 61 to 67 in 2024, but still in group D. So D grade, which means that it is still poor service. And that brings a lot of worry. Don't forget, it's not just about the product, it's not just about the service, it's about the attitude of the people who provided it. Someone can eventually sell you a very good product and make you feel bad as you're going back. Like you feel pained that you spent your money there. You feel hurt. You feel like, why did I have to patronize these guys? So someone can provide you with a very solid product, a very solid service, because they served you. In Yoruba language, they say pẹ̀lẹ́ lákọ ó labo. So service is not service. There's exceptional service, there's intentional service, there's positive attitude based service, and then there's the other. So it's not just about, oh, I've served. It's not just about, oh, we made the product available and it's quality product. But what's the attitude? The thing that gets remembered is the attitude of the persons that provided the service. And so I am talking about service attitudes, and I'm only starting the session today looking at it from the customer service side. If you joined me earlier, you found out that I mentioned that when it comes to service attitudes, it can affect employers, it can affect employees, it can affect customers. So today we're looking at it first from the customer's angle, because they are so important to business. Imagine, what is business without a customer? So I go on with the report again. The good news is that companies that choose to deliver excellent service immediately stand out. I don't know, have you ever imagined it? It has happened to me a lot of times. Someone is serving you and you are hoping that something might go wrong. We have been programmed to believe that something might go wrong. And then nothing goes wrong and the thing was exceptional. I'm like, and then the next thing, is this a Nigerian? Is it an Oyibo that owns this company? We need to become better. We cannot continue to be in that space. It doesn't look good on us. It does not look good on us. So service attitude is one conversation that must remain front burner for as long as it takes us to shift. As long as it takes us to shift. So every smile, every prompt response, every respectful interaction moves us away from being part of the problem towards becoming the business customers recommend. I'll go into some of the hard figures now. Let's take the figures. After I've read this is an effective message because it highlights both challenges and opportunities. So let's see the challenges. That's what I want today. I'm adding the challenges. Next week I work on the opportunities that you stand together and how this can become a strong competitive advantage for your business. Number one report by Nigerian Customer Service Index, NCSI 2024 report says, it was released and says that West African, okay, I'll take it again. The Nigerian Customer Service Index 2024, released with the support of West African Association of Customer Service Professionals, found out that one, Nigerian customer satisfaction, CSAT in bracket, the index was 67% in 2024. Wait for it. This was an improvement from 61% in 2023. Wait. However, 67% still falls within the poor D grade under the reports grading system. So there's work to do. There's gap to close. Second report, which should be important to anybody who is in business. And I think the biggest question is to begin to ask yourself if we are still part of the problem or we are already the one that is standing out. Second report, the report was based on, okay, so it's still this report, extra details on this report, pardon me. This report was based on more than 16,000 customers' responses, over 1,100 organizations, 12 major sectors of the Nigerian economy, data collected from states including Lagos, Abuja, Oyo, Kaduna, Rivers, and Enugu. Awesome. With the time that I have to go, I like to include that some industries performed in this particular way. So some industries in particular performed really poorly. It's important to know. According to the report, e-commerce, what I ordered versus what I got. No, I added that. That's not in the report. But e-commerce garnered 60%, power 61%, real estate 62%. These were among the lowest rated sectors for customer satisfaction. People in this business climate should pay attention. People in this business climate should pay very close attention. Telecom customers remain dissatisfied. Another finding from the same body of research showed that 32% of mobile subscribers expressed dissatisfaction with telecom services. I'm smiling because I could have been one of these respondents, citing poor customer support, unresolved complaints, and network-related frustrations as headaches. Can you relate? I can. While this is not supposed to whip anybody down to ignominy, it's a wake-up call. Our customer service, now, service attitude generally, today, benchmark on customer service needs a revival. And it's not going to happen by having vigils in church. It's going to happen by speaking to your team, by ensuring that policies are put in place and monitored, by creating accountability platforms, by having compliance structure, and by having measures to evaluate, especially by also giving the recipient of your service the opportunity to speak back to you in terms of feedback. Common service attitudes that should drive customer retention. I don't want to leave you with all the negatives in case you want to start working on something. I just told you how you can create the structure. I told you to get compliance person on your team. I told you to open the doorway for feedbacks to come in. I told you to create policies. I told you to bring training in as often as possible. I told you to make it a game plan and centralize it in the middle of doing business. So here are some attitudes that you can encourage your team, beginning with the leader, to uphold. Number one, respect and courtesy. Nobody hates respect. Like nobody in their right senses says, oh, I hate respect. I'm here to find one. If you find one person, let me know them. The other one is promptness. We're in 21st century. People hate when things are delayed or you dilly-dally over something that should not take time. Why is there so much hype around AI and all that? Because one, it offers speed of accomplishment, amongst other things. Active listening, as cheap as this factor is, people still get it wrong. Honesty and transparency, you can't get anywhere without it, because trust is central to service attitudes, particularly if you want your service attitudes to become the reason why you sell over and over again. Empathy, when people are so filled with their own concerns or personal strain, they can't even empathize with the customer, so they give it back, bone for bone, aura for aura. Product knowledge, these ones have been overstated over the years. Willingness to solve problems, not just to analyze. Some people can analyze problem, they will analyze it. You know when they say analysis paralysis, they will analyze the problem to a point where even you that you came to complain or you have an issue around the product, you are weak. It go shock you. Then consistency in service delivery. So some people get it right some of the time, and that's why the recommendations I just gave you will work a lot for you. If you missed it when I said it, please go over this video again and pick those guides I gave you. They are things you should pay for actually. Conclusion. Service attitude is not merely a customer service skill. It is a strategic business asset. For Nigerian businesses seeking sustainable growth, investment in conscious, responsive, customer focused employees. Did you see employees? Yeah, they are the one that goes. It's like when a government comes in and you're celebrating the person you just elected, you've forgotten that the people that will interpret the entire thing have always been there. They didn't change. They are the ones they call soldier go, soldier come, barrack no change. The palm secs are there. The guys who have been in the civil or public service are there. They've been there. Every government has come and they are still there. So they are the real people who we should pay attention to with every new regime that comes in, or every new term of governance that comes in. So it's important to invest in customer-focused employees. It is one of the most effective ways to improve customer retention, increase referrals, and strengthen long-term profitability. If there's anything I wish for you, like I wish for myself in business, it is long-term profitability. Not something you make just for today, but something that you continue to enjoy for the long time. That has been Mind Your Character today. What I discussed is helping you see what you lose when you do not value service attitudes enough in business. I have reeled out a statistic dated Dateline 2024. That's the most recent one I could find, talking about the customer service attitude index in Nigeria. We have looked at the issues which I believe you and I already know, and then we've gone ahead to talk about what can we do readily, because when it comes to next week, it will be time to delve more deeply into reasons why service attitudes matter. If you think you love this new series that I've begun today and you'd like to see all the sites to join me again on Friday at 4:30 p.m. and I'll be so elated to welcome you. It's my honor and pleasure to serve you on this side of value. My name is Olusola-Obasa. You probably know that already, and I am a best service attitude advisor. I'm a character development trainer and I'm a corporate culture strategist. Let's talk if you want me or my team to come in and help your business or support your business. Thank you so much for being part of the show today. It's time to say the goodbyes. Be good.